This is ADV 2K169 with
Baba.
Double O.
7.
And we just finished watching Total Recall 2012 edition.
Yeah.
And, we have to first say, I haven't put up the other video, but you definitely should check out the other review for the 1990 Total Recall that me and Famo recorded. Because these two reviews are interlinked, and we're going to have a bias. So I think it's fair to say we're biased.
Yeah, that's true. I think we did come into this video biased. Maybe we shouldn't have seen the original Total Recall first. What do you think?
Well, that's something that you have to do when you have a recall. When you have a
a recall,
a reboot or a remake, you have to know for a fact that people are going to try to see the original and judge it by the original and compare it.
Yeah.
So that's just inevitable and part of the fact you're going to make a remake.
I mean, there were definitely references to the original.
Yes, there was. Now, let's get to our overall impressions. What'd you think?
Well, I mean, we just walked out of the movie, so I'm still fomenting.
I think the action was great.
Yeah.
However, it's completely soulless. Completely without a soul, without a sense of humor. It takes itself so fucking seriously.
Yeah. Where are the one-line puns that Arnold is famous for? Like, hey, you know the one scene with
the drill that we love in the original
with Malthus. I'm thinking. When it was Quado, he said, "You are what you do." Simple, words of wisdom in 6 words. But this guy, the older Malthus, he says it. It's in the past, you are who you are then you're doing it in the present now. It's like, what the cut to the chase, man. Yeah, I think maybe they did lose a little bit of the charm, but they had some cool parts to it. Holy shit, man. There were some really neat concepts they covered. I mean, first off, the fall, that elevator through Earth.
What the hell?
That was cool.
It was cool, but I mean, is this like a sequel to The Core? How is that even possible? I mean, okay, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief, but that was one of the things I was like, come on.
Yeah,
an elevator through the entire Earth.
Yeah. Now, I think the gravity part is correct, because you're in the core. There is no gravity, because all gravity is converging to the core, so gravity cancels itself out.
that was cool. I'll give them that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And they did try to make things somewhat different. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the major things they did different, is that this movie is not on Mars. Again,
true.
This is not on Mars.
Worse, it's in Australia.
And England.
And England.
And the rest of the world somehow died from a chemical warfare, which they kind of just basically do one sentence about, and it's such a major plot that one sentence is just not enough.
Yeah, how do you connect that with Cohagen and, the colony and the UFP? It just, United British whatever, and, it just...
So, there's 2 colonies, there's 2 places where Earth has survived. One is England area, and one is Australia. And every other part of the world is ruined.
Yeah.
Basically, was what they said. And they don't really talk about what the hell happened, and they don't really talk about what specifically makes these 2 areas, immune. I guess Australia, because it's so far away, is isolated. But, I mean, still, England?
Yeah.
So, the basic plot, there's this guy who's having a regular life, and he hears about recall, which implants memories, and he goes to get some memories implanted as a secret agent, and he doesn't know what is what, which is identical to the original movie. They do change that there is an elevator through the Earth, and there's no Mars stuff, but every other plot point is pretty much identical.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they do add in some Easter eggs, like Mark's the foreman, you know, how he's, you know, Doug Quaid at the beginning of the movie in his alienating job, you know, he's complaining to his foreman that he didn't get a promotion, and it's Mark's to tell him that, you know, sorry, man, you know, you've done your quotas, you know, you've done everything good, but hey, sorry, you know, this is life, you know. I mean, that was pretty snazzy.
I don't know. I just totally shrugged that off as a throwaway line.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't build a movie off of Easter eggs.
You know, there was a lot of little references to the first one. If you haven't seen, I mean,
2 weeks.
The original, yeah, there is references, and if you haven't seen it, then it doesn't matter because they, you know, they're independent movies.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're gonna compare it to the original, you got a lot of explaining to do because I think the original is vastly superior. Just put that out there. I think it's vastly superior. The original 1990 or Arnold Schwarzenegger compared to this.
You know, I think one thing I like though that they do really take from the original and expand upon in this one is the architecture, the cement block architecture that I so dearly love. You know, which I brought
irregardless, totally pointless.
But not just that, but they have built up on it. You know, like the cities are now 3D. You know, like that was badass, man. I mean, it looks even more brutal and alienating. You know, like spot on. That was a good job.
They did do. I thought it was pretty dark and dirty and interesting. Yeah. It looked interesting, but you know, just a lot of gray and a lot of rain, and it kind of reminded me of what's that movie, Blade Runner?
Yeah.
But, so you know, I kind of like that, and you know, just like Blade Runner, they have hover cars and
magnetic cars and 3D highways as well.
Yeah, and you know, the action scenes I thought were very fun, but the big flaw for me is that I don't give a shit about these characters.
Yeah.
Because they're not likable. And
I wasn't feeling it.
And, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, he has a bad accent, but damn it, he is charming.
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone. You know, she did a much better job.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. The acting is enough, but it doesn't, you don't care. I just don't care if they live or die. And when I figured out that this is exactly the same movie, it's like, okay, you know, I know what's going to happen, and it's not that interesting. So I was kind of bored.
Yeah, I was waiting for the movie to finish too. I do have to admit that, but
So yeah, it was just, I feel like, all right, even if you just don't even know about the original, I still think you'll still be kind of bored, even though.
I mean, Cohagen. What the hell? Cohagen in Total Recall was badass, man. Like, I mean, in the original one.
And like, you know, they have the reference to the 3-boob chick, but it makes no sense here. No sense because, you know, and at least there's mutants on Mars, so it's like, okay, it makes some kind of sense. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so. And of course, since a lot of the story is about robots, and it's kind of like a Star Wars reference with the Empire, you know.
They could have made more backstory about that. The synthetics.
Yeah.
Robots.
So I thought it was just weak sauce.
I mean, it's like, okay, where did that come from? You know, like that's random.
Yeah. And so they repeat the scenes from the original. They're not as good, and special effects, while very, very good, I don't know if 20 years later, like we watched this original, if they would hold up. Because, you know, if you're going to have digital, you better do a great job. And I thought this was a very good job.
Yeah, it was a very good job. Very good.
But I don't know if it'll hold up as much as practical and much as the makeup of the original.
You know, and I'm mad that they didn't reference the Johnny Cab. Everybody loves the Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab. I forgot about that. Now, another thing, too, I would have loved a cameo from Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
That was not asking too much. He's out of governorship.
Actually, they made one for Obama. Why not put Arnold's face on the dollar bill? You know, like, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
They should have put Arnold. How How cool would that have been?
But of course, they take this movie so seriously, they don't want to have Arnold in it. And, that's the thing. It's so soulless. It's so corporation make this movie. It's going to popular with name recognition, lots of action.
Yeah, it was missing something. Hey, look, Babe's Chicken.
Yeah.
Is that...
It's a good place. Anyways, but it just, because it's so soulless, I don't care about the action. The action is great, but again, if I don't care about these characters,
I mean, Katie Holmes.
It wasn't Katie Holmes.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
I forget.
That was Tom Cruise's ex-wife.
No, it wasn't. It was. I forget who she was. She was. I think.
Well, the other is Jessica Biel.
Yeah, but I think that was kind of a mistake because toward the end they look like each other.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to tell, for the most part, they're near each other, trying to, but it's still, why? Why have two characters that look almost identical? Mm-hmm. Not being racist or anything, but they really, okay, one has a ponytail, one doesn't, but if they get rid of that ponytail, it's really hard to tell a difference. Yeah. So, I don't like this movie. And I like the action, but I think if you just take it away, you just don't care. And it was the plot was more of an excuse for the action than an actual plot.
But I do like the setting in the movie. I mean, they did a good job on setting, I could see future sci-fi movies, taking a page from, how to make a good, sci-fi setting. Yeah,
I do give them credit for, making it look interesting future.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, the color palette is just gray, gray, and it's like, okay, I know, this is Deary,
Actually, one thing I did like, I don't know if they intended to do this, was up in Britain, up in the British part, you have the deep underground. That was like old time England, right? Like today, modern England today. But on top of that, you have very American, cement blocks, highways. They said the interstate. They're on the Interstate 9 in the movie, It's symbolic because, American society is built on top of British philosophy, and so that's a neat stacking effect, how coming back to Britain, you have America sitting right on top of it, imposing right on Britain, that is perfectly symbolic. I'm sure a British moviegoer would
I think that was completely not intentional. That is you looking for something.
Well, either way, it's damn coincidental,
So, yeah, overall, I thought it was bad. I thought I would give this half with the original score I gave the other one. I'll give this a 4 out of 10, which is pretty harsh. I haven't given a bad grade in a long time, and this is bad. This is a 4. I don't care with the characters. The action is good, but I don't care about the story, and it has no soul, it has no character, it has no humor. I just don't care.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna no humor. Yeah.
It's all eye candy, and once that goes away,
in fact, the only bit from the humor was when that synthetic robot got squished by an elevator. That's it.
And that was another scene copied from the original. So this is a copy.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you give it out a score?
What did I give in the first review?
You gave it a 10, the original.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Well, half of a 10 is a
5.
It's a 10 for me.
Oh, come on!
All right, I guess. Oh man, I don't know what do I give. You know what? I'll give it a passing grade.
A passing grade.
I will give it a P, an F or a P. I give it a P.
All right, well, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this review, and talk to you later. Bye.